Hey, what's up? So I think Alien Romulus is a very special movie. First of all, if I was to give this out of 5, I would give this a 4. I'm a sucker for good visuals, and you get a lot of that here. I mean, this director is one of those directors who are very confident with their visuals. Think Christopher Nolan, think Ryan Coogler, think Jordan Peele, think Denis Villeneuve, think James Cameron, think Ridley Scott. Directors who know how to capture a good scene, a good frame, a well-constructed frame. They use the proper props, they use they use set designs, they use unique angles to just capture like super beautiful shots. I'm talking about the first act, which looks like something from Blade Runner 2049, and then there's a scene whereby the craft is leaving space and it goes between clouds, huge amount of clouds, and there's lightning. Then you see the spacecraft, then it comes up, and then you see this beautiful planet aerial shot of the planet with the rings. It's such a beautiful looking film. And even when you go indoors, how it chooses to frame really intense scene or really suspenseful scenes, still a very masterful director in terms of visuals. Anyway, what makes this movie special? Number one, if you've watched the first Alien from Ridley Scott, the second Aliens from James Cameron, this makes for a very good third movie. It completes that trilogy very, very well. And here's a strange thing. If you've watched Prometheus, you've watched Alien Covenant, and you love them the same way that I do, because Prometheus is my favorite Alien movie. If you've watched Prometheus, Alien Covenant, this movie also make a very good third movie with that ending. The ending of Alien Romulus does something that David from Alien Covenant was trying to do, was experimenting with. And it tried to, it almost explores that concept in this particular movie. So it makes for a very interesting third movie for Prometheus, Covenant, and now this one. So those are two trilogies. So this movie serves two purposes. It serves the first two movies, then it serves the prequels, the Covenant and the Prometheus. Apart from that, in terms of performances, I thought all characters were okay, but the standout is a character called Andy, played by David Johnson. He's an android. And they do that thing that they also did in Alien Covenant, where you have the android playing two different characters, two polar opposite characters. And they also did that, they explored that to these particular characters, because he kind of plays two different characters, and he does that very, very well. He sold with, he did a lot of facial expressions that actually sold his role. And I thought, yeah, this kid was pretty good. I was simply impressed. He's not a kid, he's probably a grown-up, but I was actually impressed by how he was able to actually sell the scenes. Now, why did people go into this movie? Aliens, of course, most people don't care about performances. I mean, they're important, but the main reason why you went into this movie was because of the aliens. And so you get the face huggers, a lot of face huggers, but in a strange way, for me, I didn't like the movies because of the face huggers and the xenomorphs. For me, it was about the idea of what was going to happen. The explanation behind why there were so many xenomorphs. The sci-fi part of the movie is what I liked, and that's why I love Prometheus, that's why I love Alien Covenant. When they step away from just having a monster movie and try to give you a reason for the monster actually existing at that particular time. And this movie does a good job making you understand why the xenomorph actually comes up, how the xenomorph pops up, why there are so many face huggers. There's a story into everything that happens within this movie, and it actually makes a lot of sense from both sides, from why they're there, from why this ship actually crashed. Because in a way, as I said, this movie connects to a lot of movies. It connects to the first movie in a very special way, because there's a character that you'll see that you've seen in another Alien movie. And then it connects to also Prometheus, it connects to Aliens in a very interesting way. I don't want to spoil it for people. But generally, if you love the Alien movies, if you love sci-fi, because that's an element that I really loved about the movie, there are a lot of scientific explanation into why some group of people who are interested in the xenomorphs and the face huggers. For me, I thought that was pretty good, and I thought that was pretty well done. Now, in terms of just an entertaining movie for the sake of entertainment, it's an entertaining thriller and horror movie. Yeah, there are horrific moments, especially that last bit. Wow, it was hard to watch. There's something that they did with a particular, and as I said, I loved it because I loved when they go outside just the aliens that we know, and they push it to to another level, and they explore different ideas outside what we're familiar with. Something that Covenant actually tried to do. And in this, with that ending, they pushed it to a different level. And I was like, yeah, I like what you're trying to do here. I like this. I wish it would be explored more. But generally, if you're thinking about going to see this and thinking to yourself you're going to see another Aliens, this is not Aliens. This is not an action movie. This is more of a horror, sci-fi thriller, suspense thriller, because it's coming from the director of Don't Breathe, and some aspect of Don't Breathe actually are in this movie. But generally, the tension, the suspense, it's, for me, is what really worked about the movie. It's not the xenomorphs. It's not the horrific things that happened during the third act. Yes, I loved them, but the suspense and the thrill of what was happening for me was the better part of this movie. The villain is very interesting. Let me just put it this way. If you've watched all the other Alien movies, especially the first one, second one, there are some things that you'll enjoy in this particular movie. Let me just put it that way. But basically, it's a very enjoyable film, whether you like it or not. Now, do you need to know the Alien universe, the Alien mythology? Do you need to have watched any Alien movie? As a sci-fi movie, no, you don't, because the story is structured in a very simple way. It's easy to understand, it's easy to follow. But in a certain way, yes, in that it's much more enjoyable if you understand the Alien universe. It's much more enjoyable if you've been there and you've seen the xenomorphs. It's much more enjoyable if you understand how that world works. It's much more enjoyable when you understand the craft, when you understand the villain, where he's coming from, when you understand what an android is, when you understand that changing of that small thing actually means. It's much more rewarding to see those kind of things. So, is it the best Alien movie? I'll do a ranking, a very simple ranking that will shock more people, because I love the sci-fi part of Aliens. I'm not really fascinated by the xenomorphs because I don't think they have a lot to offer apart from biting people and breeding into people's body. But I don't think they have so much very interesting characters. I like the scientific take on the sci-fi. I like the sci-fi part of the Alien movies when they challenge other things like religious beliefs. Like Prometheus is one of my favorite because it challenges a lot of things that are outside the alien creature. I know the first movie also did that, but this Prometheus for me was like, that alien movie that I always wanted to see. But generally that's it. This is a 4 to 5. It's pretty enjoyable. If you love good visuals, there's a lot of use of the yellow color. That's why I'm saying this director understands exactly what he's doing. Yellow is predominant in like all scenes. It's everywhere, and the director knew exactly how to use it. Anyway, if you've seen the movie, let me know what you thought about it. Did you love that ending? Did you love that ending? Did you love that third act? Did you like where they took it? Because the movie kinda has two endings. There's one that is pretty epic in a gravity control room, and then there's another one when now that thing comes out and you're like, oh my goodness, this is gross, and it has everything. It has the tail. Damn, that thing was crazy. Anyway, what did you think about it? Let me know what you thought about it, and thanks for watching this. Remember to always watch what you enjoy and enjoy what you watch. I shall probably see you on the next one. Thanks for watching this. Adios.